Hello and welcome to I'm Your Biggest Fan, the podcast that chats to your favourite artists about their favourite artists. I'm your host Jazmin L'Amy in conjunction with the Noise Podcast Network and sponsored by Satanic Tico. I'm glad I checked my Twitter DMs for the first time in ages recently because today's guest is the biggest fan of Californian nu metal pioneers, Korn. In this episode, I chat with nihilistic sludge metalers Swamp Coffin's guitarist and frontman, Jon Rhodes. We chat about his signed cassette tapes, his betrayal to his younger brother when he went to see Korn without him, Jonathan Davis's harrowing vulnerable lyrics, and his creepiest bit of Korn merchandise, the Issues doll. Now, if you know what the front cover of the Korn album Issues look like, you'll know which doll I'm talking about. So yeah, sit back and take a listen.
I'm your biggest fan!
So thank you for hopping on this podcast with me. I'm excited that you're excited about this too. Obviously, I'm assuming you know what this podcast is about, but for anyone listening that's not listened to any of the other episodes before, this is basically an opportunity for you, the artist, to revert back to being a fan of music and fanboy over the bands that got you on this journey in the first place. Because we've all got one. And especially with the advent of social media, I think fans forget that their favourite musicians just started out as fans like they did.
Yeah.
And I also imagine, as a musician, you get asked a lot of the same questions by a lot of the same outlets, on the same album cycles, on the same tour cycles.
Yeah.
So hopefully this kind of chat and conversation will remind you of why you do what you do. So,
because this is the thing I said to my missus earlier. I don't tend to get nervous before interviews, but this feels different because it feels like I'm about to go on mastermind.
sometimes it's like that, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like, because I've listened to a few episodes. I listened to the Metallica one, I listened to the Limp Bizkit one. I'm like, all right, okay.
Those are good ones. I remember those ones.
Yeah, they're good.
So the band you want to talk about today is the almighty Korn.
Yeah.
Which, as I probably said in one of those episodes you listened to as well, one of the reasons I like doing these is because I never got into nu metal. I was a classic rocker, new wave of British heavy metal, glam rocker growing up. So this is an excuse for me to dive into those band names that I've always seen around, but I've never taken the time to listen to them. So what I want to know is, do you remember the first time you ever heard Korn?
Yeah, I do. And the thing is, same as you, I was into Queen. I grew up on Queen, Zeppelin, Yes, Genesis, Fleetwood Mac, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. And I sort of discovered would be Metallica and got into the Black Album and got into Nirvana when I was about 13. And it had been like 1999, I'd been 14, I think. We went on the residential weekend things you go on to where you go with school and you go abseiling and rock climbing, all that sort of shit. We were at one of them and there was a communal area with a CD player. And my mate went, I've got this cassette, listen to this. I think you're going to like it. And it was Follow the Leader.
Yes.
Which had come out the year before. It was before Issues came out. So it would have been like early 1999. And he put it in, and track one is It's On. And before that song had finished, my fucking mind was blown.
Yep.
I'd literally had nothing like it before. I didn't know what the fuck I was listening to. And then it's Freak on the Leash, and then it's Got the Life, and it's like, where has this been?
Yeah.
And yeah, but before Issues came out, I was obsessed.
So you owe everything to that one friend.
Yeah. Literally, just one guy going, I think you might like this. And then that led to Slipknot, and it led to Limp Bizkit, and it led to Mudvayne and Korn, and just band after band after band, literally because of that one guy, which is crazy.
So you said there that, you grew up on the more classic dad rock stuff.
Yeah.
But then it was Metallica and then Korn. So, because like Metallica is substantially heavier than what you grew up on, so that's quite a big jump. So, what was it about Korn that flicked a switch in your brain that Metallica didn't do for you?
Because the thing is with Metallica, it was Sandman. I literally heard Sandman on TV and was like, all right, that's pretty cool. It's that riff. There's just something though that felt like it was a level up. Like it's that bass tone. Korn's bass tone kicks you in the face the second you hear it. The vocals are more aggressive. The guitars are down tuned. It just felt like everything I was starting to enjoy about metal. I mean, bearing in mind, Black Album is heavy. Despite what some people will say, Metallica only have got 4 albums, knobheads. Despite those people, Black Album's heavy. It's got some fucking riffs on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not drop A, super down tuned, or big clanky bass. And it just felt like everything I was looking for. And it's the vocals are different. Obviously, they're really he's screaming, but he's singing about real life stuff, which nothing I'd really experienced up to that point was that honest.
Yeah.
And it's that integrity that I just latched onto. You get that a lot with, this band saved my life. And it's like, yeah, it does actually feel like you're being spoken to. Like 14 and 15-year-old, you find somebody that's literally talking about how you feel. It's crazy. So it just connected with me.
Yeah. I was going to save this next question a little further on because this is a fucking heavy question. But
Here we go.
Talking about the fact that Korn's lyrics are very vulnerable and straight up. I read that some lyrics in a couple of Korn songs were written about vocalist Jonathan Davis's harrowing child abuse experiences when he was younger, namely Daddy and Kill You. How, as a musician and as a listener, how important do you think it is to have music as a creative outlet for all types of emotions and feelings, including obviously rage and revenge, like we have in those 2 songs?
I mean, if you listen to what we're doing in Swamp Coffin, there's no fantasy stuff in what I'm writing about. It's all my personal experience. It's grief. It's depression. It's all that sort of stuff. And it was listening to Korn and following that Hatebreed, Machine Head. These are guys that are all talking about their shared experiences. And it's that, and I keep saying integrity. It's that I always latched onto, and there's no better art form, I think, than metal, than to sort of document and vent how you feel at a particular point in time. Because I think that was a criticism about Korn sort of later on in the discography of like, he's just trying to recreate what he was going through in them first few albums. It's like, well,
why would you want to relive?
Yeah, those albums are at a place in time where he's like, he's catalogued how he feels at that point about that, and then later on he's going to be singing about something else. But yeah, that's all. It always meant a lot to me that this person is. They're opening up. Do you know what I mean? They're sharing with, like, eventually for that band, millions of people.
Yeah.
Millions of people know what he went through as a kid. I mean, like I said, I got obsessed with them. I knew everything about that band, everything about what those songs were about. And you listen to them though, and you can put your own spin on them.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been through what he's been through. I've not been through what Jamie Jaster's been through, or Rob Flynn, or any of these bands that I was into. But you go, well, I'm going to approach it from a different way, and it might help me get over a different thing that I'm going through. Something I've always said. I remember when I got into all this sort of music, my mum saying, I don't like you listening to Korn, it's making you depressed. And I said, no, I'm listening to it because I'm depressed. And it's a way to vent. It's a way, you can't beat it. If you're feeling shit, there is nothing better than putting on something distorted and shouty, and you're screaming in your bedroom or you're screaming in the car. I mean, I find it now quite relaxing. I'll literally just stick some fucking Entombed on or something if I'm having a bad day at work. I just chill right out.
Yeah. It's
Can't knock it.
something that really annoys me about having to be on social media so much is music is subjective, and I loathe when someone says a band is shit, because when it comes to either writing about what you've actually been through, i.e. Korn, or you get other bands, example, some power metal bands, which is the total opposite, which is fantasy stuff. It doesn't matter what your creative outlet is. Some people want to know that their feelings are shared by other people. Some people want the escapism. Why does it matter? We all have different things that work for different people. One band might work for you one day, but you might want to pretend you're riding a werewolf with a sword another day.
But that's what it's meant to be. It's a menu. You don't eat the same thing every day, do you? So you don't want to listen to the same thing. I spend probably as much time. Oh God, I listen to some weird shit. I listen to Japanese pop music. I listen to film scores. I like a bit of pop music. I like country.
Disney soundtracks.
Disney soundtracks are great. John Williams stuff. Jurassic Park soundtrack. But sometimes you want some fucking filthy riffs and some guy screaming about his problems. And it's good that type of music exists for that. And that's literally what I latched onto. We've always said, oh, if it wasn't for Crowbar, we probably wouldn't be a band. But really, if it wasn't for Korn, we 1,000,000% wouldn't be a band. I would have picked up guitar and wanted to be in a band if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for that first album, if it wasn't for my mate literally giving me a tape and going, keep that, and playing it and playing it and playing it and figuring out what I wanted to do in music. Yeah, this band wouldn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking it a little bit lighter now, you mentioned there obviously the first Korn song you heard was the first song on that tape that your mate played you. I find that my favorite song of a band will usually always be the first one I heard, because it holds so much weight and meaning behind it. But so for you, your favorite song, has it remained the first one that you heard, or has that changed over time?
It's changed. It's still up there because it's a fucking great opening song. Although it kind of went a bit downhill because I don't know if you've heard, there's an infamous incident at Download Festival where Jonathan Davis, the singer for Korn, was ill, and it was 2006, and they dropped out. Sorry, he drops out. The band carried on, but they got guest singers in. So Corey Taylor sang from, Benji from Skindred sang from, but it was some guy, and I can't remember, I think it was from the band Flyleaf, and he butchered that song because he looked like a deer in the fucking headlights. He walked out in front of 80,000 people and was like, shit, and you could tell. And then Corey Taylor came on and saved the day. So that I've got that. So that memory is also in the back of my mind when I listen to it. So, but I think that album hasn't aged well in places. If you know the album, it's the one that's got the really fucking awkward track with Fred Durst on it. All in the Family.
Yeah.
It's aged like milk. So yeah, God, what is my favorite Korn song? See,
it's a big question.
It is, because there's so many. I mean, I've been obsessed with some like the more recent stuff, like Oildale. I'm completely obsessed. I'm listening to that like 3 or 4 times a day at the moment. But it's probably My Gift to You, which is the last song on Follow the Leader, which is the tape that you gave me. And that's just, they all seem to have a bit of a reputation. The last song on the album was always super fucking heavy.
Okay.
So Daddy, Kill You, Dirty, Off Issues, they seem to get an epic in. And those sort of epic sort of closing tracks have always been my favourite.
Those are the ones that basically go out with a bang for you.
Yeah, oddly enough, it's when they slow down and consider them as fucking sludge band. It sort of makes a bit of sense now. It's when they go slower and a bit scary. Yeah, that's when they're at their best for me.
Okay, because my next question was going to be your band Swamp Coffin have 2 albums and 1 EP, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Flat Cat Bastard features New Soul Mighty and 2024's Drowning Glory. How has your love for Korn influenced your own music writing, both when you started and now? Because, when you listen to Korn's biggest songs and you listen to Swamp Coffin, it's hard to find the crossover. But you mentioned there that it was the slower, sludgier ones that did the most for you. So tell me about how writing your own music has influence from Korn from them.
I mean, so me and Dave, who's the drummer in Swamp Coffin, we went to school together, went to comp together, we went to college, and we were in bands sort of 2002, 2003, playing new metal.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of influence is always going to be there for us. Yeah, we play big fucking doomy riffs, and it's a different beast. Into there's no bounds to what we do. There's no like DJ effects and rapping and stuff. But it's like I've said already. It's the lyrics, like the honesty in the lyrics, is completely fundamental to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'd not listened to Jonathan Davis and gone, well, if he can do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And I didn't start writing lyrics until I took over doing vocals in this band. I mean, our first demo, my brother did vocals.
Okay.
And then he had to drop out because his lungs collapsed. He was literally hospitalized.
That's intense.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So he's like, I can't scream in a fucking metal band anymore. So I went, well, I've never done vocals, but I'll give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
So Flat Cat was the first time I'd ever done vocals. It was the first time I'd ever done lyric writing. And it's like therapy for me.
Yeah.
And I can literally listen to those sort of first few Korn albums and go, look, why can't, if he can be as honest as he was on Daddy, I can talk about my house burning down. I can talk about grief. Why can't you? And then the riff thing, I mean, they were super low tuned. Yeah. And when you're 15 and you go, hang on, that's cool. So we tuned to drop A, which is what Korn tuned to. So there's a little bit of a nod. But it's the first track on New Soul Mighty is a song called Your Problem. Mm-hmm. And the first time I played it to my wife, she went, that's a fucking Korn riff. I'm like, I can assure you I've not nicked it. But she's like, no, it sounds like Korn. But because the drums are a bit different and because it's got a bit more of a hardcore chug to it, people don't realise there's bits where I'm doing the odd nod. There's a real swagger to Korn riffs.
Yeah.
But because they're a little bit quicker than us, it's got that bounce to it. Whereas when we do it, it just sounds like we're doing constant breakdowns.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But you cannot be bottom string worship. Like those first 4 frets, just wow. That's literally that's the vibe.
Yeah.
If you listen to Blind, slow the main riff down from Blind, and that has pretty much influenced my writing since I was like 16-year-old.
Yeah. I find it absolutely fascinating how if you take just what you write and it's very Korn influenced, but the whole song changes when you put different band members influenced by different things on top of it. It baffles me and still blows my tiny little mind how just even a slight different combination of band members can change an entire band's sounds.
If you change their drummer, if you change our drummer, we'd sound completely different. Mm-hmm. If you put, there's the Metallica show where Lars dropped out and Joey Jordison did drums for him. And it sounded like a complete fucking different band because he just double kicked everything. It sounded totally different.
You're playing the same song.
Yeah.
Music, the feeling that a musician has, even if it's the same, you can play the same riff, but it will sound totally different by 2 different people. And
which is crazy.
Yeah.
It is weird, but like you say, it's how I write riffs is different to how somebody else might write riffs. I've got an idea of how a drum part's going to sound. Dave's got his own ideas, and he's the drummer, so I just trust him, and he I don't try and dictate to him how he should play certain things.
Yeah.
But it's like with Korn, if you take Fieldy out, I don't think it sounds like Korn anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably, I mean, the way Head and Monkey's guitar works, they need each other to sort of feed off each other. And one's doing one effect and one's doing another, and they counterbalance each other. And when Head left the band, you can tell it sounds different. It sounds completely different to me because you've not got that interplay.
Yeah.
You need those. You need all those parts working, I think, for it to. It's like that fucking. What did they do? They did oh God, like a not dance. What's it called? They did a dubstep record.
Oh, what was that one called?
Oh God, what is it called? I can tell you I've listened to it once. Hang on, I had it up earlier. I was listening to it just to make sure I wasn't losing my fucking mind. But yeah, it is that rubbish. The Path of Totality. Oh, it's shocking.
Oh yeah, I've got the discography here in front of me.
Shit. It's got Skrillex on it.
Each to their own.
Each to their own.
Like I say, someone will love that album.
I'm sure somebody likes Lulu by Metallica, but it ain't me. Sure, fucking ain't me.
So, Korn are thankfully still going. They're still active. They have been for decades now. I'm assuming you have at some point had the chance and opportunity to see them live in concert?
Yes.
How many times?
15, I think, was the last count.
Oh my God, that was way more than I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, it was 15, but I don't think I've seen them live. I've not seen them live since 2015.
Jesus.
But like I say, when I was like 18, 19 and didn't have a wife and kids and other more important priorities, I would be on a train and I would go and see them in London, Manchester, and I'd travel all over the place.
Yeah.
I've seen them on secret shows. I've seen them on festivals. I've seen them in arenas, in clubs. I've seen them all sorts of times.
When was the first time you saw them live?
It was Untouchables tour, so 2002. I was 17 at Manchester Arena. And like the things I've been into them for years, but that was because they disappeared for a couple of years while they were writing Untouchables. So I've not had a chance to see them. And yeah, we were standing. There was me, my brother, who would have been 13, asking me what the smell was in the arena. It's like, yeah, let's not discuss that. Puddle of Mud supported.
Nice.
Yeah, they got fucking booed. It was funny because it was quite sweet actually because they were a few songs in and their singer goes, "Do you know what? We've been getting some really tough crowds, but you guys have been really supportive. Thanks for being so good to us." And the second he said that, everyone in the arena fucking booed him, and he looked like he was going to cry. So yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it was pretty funny because if he'd have just kept his mouth shut, I think he'd have been all right. But oh God, that show was ridiculous. I found a bootleg of it earlier today. I was just looking on YouTube just to see if it existed, and somebody's ripped the audio, and I literally pressed play. I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally there. I'm taken back. It's
time machine.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad how that works. But yeah, I could literally I can still picture the big video wall they had. I can picture what the band looked like, what they were wearing. I can remember it all. It's really vivid. But it was emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever been into a band for years and then you finally get to see them live and you just feel overwhelmed.
Guns N' Roses have always been my favorite bands. And when I first got into them, they were Axl and Friends. They weren't Slash and Duff weren't part of it. And when I was into them, there was not a chance in hell Guns N' Roses would ever get back together. It just, no point in even fantasizing about it. It wasn't going to happen. And I remember seeing the reunion unfold on social media. And I was just so excited because I was like running to my dad, who would always say to me, "It's never going to happen." And I was like, "Dad, it's happening. We're getting back together."
So I was like that when Rage got back together. So
yeah, the first time I saw them, I was Golden Circle as well. And
nice.
I cried like 3 times.
It gets you though, doesn't it? Because if you built something up in your head, I cried at that first Korn show.
Mm-hmm.
They did a song called "No One's There," which they never play. It was off Untouchables. They rarely play it, and I was fucking bawling my eyes out. Yeah, it hits you, doesn't it? When you sort of waited ages for something. My son's going through it at the moment because he's really into Oasis.
Oh, cool.
He's 16. He's Oasis and Stone Roses and all that sort of stuff. He's obsessed. He likes the Smiths as well, but he needs to understand that that's never happening. They're never getting back together. So yeah, when the Oasis reunion was announced, he was doing the same thing, running around, going completely mental. We've got to get tickets. We've got to get tickets. So,
did you get tickets?
Yeah, of course I got tickets.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah. No, I don't play it. I was literally sat in front of the laptop. Yeah, we finally got tickets. But there's the thing I can't wait to see. It's more about his reaction.
Yeah.
I'll just be watching him.
Yeah, just being there for someone you care about in a moment you know is so important to them. Like when I saw Guns N' Roses, mine and my dad's song is Sweet Child of Mine, and hearing them play that and thinking of my dad, because me and my dad were there at the same time, but we weren't watching them together. He was sat down and I was in the golden circle. And just like, we weren't physically together, but we were experiencing the same moment for a song that meant so much to us.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I guess like when you first saw Korn and you were there with your little brother, do you think that experience would have been different if you hadn't been experiencing it with someone you also care about?
Yeah, I think so. Because the thing is that it was me, it was him, and there were 3 college mates of mine. And they fucked off, and it was me and my brother. We watched the whole show together, and we saw it. I mean, a lot of those 14 or 15 times, he was with me. And it was something we always bonded over. I mean, they did a Q&A in London a couple of years ago. It was literally just, I think it was the day before Download, and it was just a little bit of a warm-up thing. They didn't play any music. They just sat in a room. They were interviewed by somebody from Kerrang, and just they were telling stories that I knew, shit that I've heard 1,000 times, but it was like, I still want to be in a room with this band.
Yeah.
And me and him literally sat behind the venue before. We got there like 3 hours before. We bought 6 beers apiece. We got pissed up. I was the only person there that day that managed to get anything signed. Because they kicked everybody away. We were all sort of sat around by the stage door. And they were like, look, the band's on the way, but they will not come into the building unless you move. So I just stood really fucking still. And the security ignored me. They shooed everybody away. And I got that cassette. I got the cassette with me. Right?
Oh my God. That's awesome.
So I got the cassette and I'm stood really fucking still like Predator waiting by this stage door. All the security's shooing everybody out of the way and I'm stood still. Jonathan Davis gets out and he walks about 30 centimetres past me and says, Jonathan, will you sign my tape? And his security guard said, fuck off. And he pushed Jonathan inside. And then Head gets out of his car. I'm like, Head, will you sign my tape? And he went, sure. And he signed it. And they were literally dragging him in the fucking building as he was trying to sign this tape.
Oh.
And nobody else, there was a guy crying because he didn't get something signed. And yeah, then me and my brother were just sat. And then we sat in the Weatherspoons and got more pissed. But this is it. It's those memories.
Yeah.
That was more important than anything that we're going to say in that interview, because it's like I've heard it all a million times. I know all the stories, but it was just experiencing it with him is So although I did once piss him off because I went to see him on my own, I got tickets. I think I went to London to see him without him.
The betrayal.
I know, but they played a song that he really, really likes that he'd never seen live before.
Fuck.
And he was fuming. But I think the best time, we went to see him in Manchester. And I don't know if you ever have done this, but we'd get there at like fucking 10 in the morning and queue all day.
I've done that before.
Despite the fact that you could still fight your way to the front if you walked in during the support band. But we get there at 10 o'clock and it fucking snowed. I think it was October.
God.
It was October in Manchester and it snowed. And they played a song called For You, which is literally, it's only maybe a minute and a half long. And they played that and fuck me, I cried again. Because he's like, oh, this is dedicated to everything that's been stood outside in the snow. And it's like, yeah, it's me and my fucking little brother have been sat out here.
Oh, it's dedicated to you.
That's what it's all about. This is it. That's what it felt like. It's
Yeah.
not about me. And he wasn't fucking talking to me, but it feels like he is sometimes. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, of all the times that you've seen them, do you have a favorite time that you've seen them?
That first time's going to take some beating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, you know, it's that first hit in it. It's trying to chase the dragon after that.
Yeah.
They were amazing at downloading 2004. Made better by the fact that my friend was there and he was stood directly behind me. And he said that every time my head moved to get a better look, he saw fuck all because I was just jumping up and down for the whole show. So I'm at a secret show with Static X in London, where I was all over the venue because the pit didn't stop moving like the whole show. Yeah, there's been a few. They're pretty fucking good live. Have you seen them?
When would it have been? 2021? Did they play Download? I think.
Was that? I can't remember when they last. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was 2021 that they played Download, and I saw them. But because I work in the music industry now, like when I go to festivals, I'm always like running back and forth, doing work-related things. So I tend to catch like 2, maybe 3 songs of like as many bands as I possibly can before I've got to move on to the next thing. But I made sure I caught Freak on a Leash.
Yeah.
That was good. I was watching it from the back as well as I was like running between the stages. And it was cool to see everyone else enjoying it as well, rather than being like in the midst of it. It's cool to see how it affects like other people. So
see, I think that's the thing for me. It's not like, oh, is there a favorite show of theirs? It's like, is there a favorite song that they've done? Because they would still stick in like they'll stick a rarity in.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll do like, I remember when I saw them and they played Dirty, and it's like one of my favorite songs of theirs. And that stands out more to me than any of just, the show as a whole. It's like, they did that one song that I fucking like that they never play live.
Those moments.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So of their 14-ish full releases, the first one you heard, you said was Untouchables.
No, first one was Follow the Leader.
Oh, okay. Well, your favorite one was Untouchables.
No, favorite's Issues.
Oh.
We haven't talked about favorite albums. We talked about favorite songs.
Okay, well, my question is, which is your favorite album and which ones have you found underwhelming?
See, I do like Untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Follow the Leader was the first. Like I say, it has kind of aged a bit badly. Issues, I think, is my favorite because I was literally listening to it. So I was trying to listen to some of the albums of theirs that I haven't listened to as much, like the terrible dubstep one, just in sort of preparation for this. And I got halfway through Requiem and went, fuck it, I'm just going to listen to Issues.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to do that a lot. I might be listening to anything by any band and be like, fuck it, I'm going to listen to Issues. So it's probably that. Untouchables is up there. The first one is a masterpiece. The 1994 debut, the self-titled, is amazing. Take a Look in the Mirror, I think, doesn't get enough love. Take a Look in the Mirror is weird because they produced it themselves.
Okay.
So I think they just got out of a record deal and they were feeling a bit shitty, I think. Untouchables, it didn't bomb, but I think they spent like $3 million making it.
Oh, God.
So they lost a fuckload of money doing it. So, like, Take a Look in the Mirror is like really aggressive, but it gets slagged off. I don't know why, but I think it's a great album. But still Issues.
And the ones you find underwhelming besides that one dubstep, Path of Totality?
I'm not sure about the new one. I'm not sure about Requiem.
Why aren't you sure about it?
I don't think I've spent enough time with it. It took me a while to get into Korn 3 Remember Who You Are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm literally doing it's good, but it's not. It's not Untouchables. Yeah, it's good, but it's not Life is Peachy. And that's not in a, like I said earlier about the Metallica fans, that they did nothing after Justice.
Mm.
Nah, fuck off. I love Load. If we're going to talk about Metallica quickly,
Yeah, loads of great albums.
Load is my favorite Metallica album. It's my favorite. It's brilliant. It's a great album to stick on in the car, but it's a different beast. And I think with Korn, they've never done anything other than the dubstep album too different to what they sound like, I don't think. And it just makes me want to listen to their older stuff.
Yeah, I
Do you
guess
know what I mean? It's like
you can probably relate as a musician too. Like, obviously, you don't write music for other people. You do it for you, and if other people enjoy it, then great. But as a musician, I imagine you don't want to be writing the same thing all the time. You're
no,
not
this
going
is
to
it.
be the same person in 10 years as you were 10 years ago.
No.
So you're always going to want to try new things. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But especially if you've got a discography of 14 plus releases, of course things are going to be different.
Yeah. See, and the thing is as well, it's different for me. I'm not the same person I was 25 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And their music I relate to it in a different way now. And the other thing is, I haven't always got as much time to sit and completely immerse myself. Because the thing is, back then, I didn't have Spotify. I didn't have like literally every band at my fucking fingertips. I could sit and I'd buy a CD. I would sit on the floor in my bedroom. I'd put the CD in and I would listen to it from start to finish, no breaks, just completely absorb it. And then play that same album over and over and over and over again for months. And I don't know if it's partly because of that. I mean, Machine Head, one of my favourite bands, Under the Locust, listened to it once and was like, wow, that is rubbish. What a piece of shit album. And then I listened to it again a few years later. I'm like, this is a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is up there. This is a fucking great album. Why were you such an idiot? And I've sort of come around to so Remember Who You Are. I'm coming around on that album. It's good. It's got some bangers on it. It's a solid Korn album. I think even like the Nothing was the one before this one. The singles are good. They sometimes lose me a little bit with the album tracks. They're not always all as strong as the singles. Do you know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. But I'm trying. I'm going to try and immerse myself in. Yeah, this is it. It's
Keep
like
an open mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that. I fucking love that band, and I'd go and see them tomorrow if I could. I really want to go and see them in Scarborough, but we were away. We were on holiday. That's part of the joys of kids and all that sort of stuff. You unfortunately don't have time to just drop everything and go to a gig anymore. But yeah, I want to see him again soon. And I don't know about you. I tend to like look at all the set lists beforehand.
It depends. If it's a band I know and I know all their songs already, then I like to be surprised. If it's a band I don't know and I don't know all of their songs, then I like to know them beforehand. Because when I go to shows, my thing is I like to sing along. I am not built for a mosh pit, but I will stand at the back with my horns in the air singing along. That's how I like to be a part of it. So.
Yeah. I like to sing along. And I like to make sure that I'm polished up in case there's, if there's a weird song, like I went to see Anthrax, I'm like, there's one song in the set list that I don't know. And then played it on repeat. I'm like, right, I know all the words now, but also that song's ace.
Yeah.
And it's now my favourites. And yeah, I did that with Korn. I saw them with Slipknot. And I got the set list printed out because I'm a fucking sado. I got them printed out for both bands. And like with Slipknot, I'm like, okay, if they play this one song, they're going to do this particular set. Or if they play this one song early on, they're going to do this different set. And that's going to have it. I don't know if it's because I've got the tism or if it's just, I don't know what it is. But I like to know exactly what I'm getting. And then I can practice my words. And they did a song, they did Love and Meth. And I didn't know that song at the time. and I like that one now because being forced to, I do the playlist of the set
Yeah,
list.
no,
I
I
do
like
that
doing that as
thing.
well.
Yeah, it just kind of take the fun out of it. I think, doesn't it? Really, when you know exactly what's coming, but
I don't think so, because you get all the fun pre-show vibe.
organized,
Yeah,
organized fun.
exactly. So of all of their songs and their whole discography, if you had to direct someone listening to Korn for the first time, what 3 songs would you suggest that encapsulates them perfectly?
It's got to be Freak on a Leash. Because the thing is, my daughter's 20. She
Okay.
don't like metal, but she knows Freak on a Leash,
Yeah.
which is mad. It's fucking TikTok generation. These songs that you think nobody's going to know about, she knew already, which is
hmm
just weird to me. So it's got to be Freak on a Leash. They've got to watch the whole video. Have you seen the video?
Not in a while.
Okay.
Not since Kerrang and Scuzz went kaput.
Yeah, I was MTV2, and that thing was on all the fucking time. So it's Freak on a Leash, particular video. Blind, obviously, first song, first album. Oh, let's go something weird. I want to pick something off Issues. Let's go Somebody Someone off Issues. Because the
Wonderful.
breakdown's sick in that song.
We love a breakdown.
We love a breakdown. Literally, all I write is breakdowns.
All I
That
have is
goes into
breakdowns.
yeah, and that's possibly why I do that. Yeah, breakdowns into slightly slow breakdowns. But yeah, the one in that song's mega.
So my next question is, I'm assuming as big a fan of Korn as you are, how much Korn merch do you own?
Quite a bit. Yeah. I've not bought anything for a while. I know I bought a t-shirt at each one of the tour shows.
It's got to be
So
done.
they're at least 15. A bunch of them are signed because I'm a nerd. I've got the little Korn doll off
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Issues cover. Everybody had to have that at one point. Yeah, there's a lot. I've got patches. I've got shit stuffed in drawers. I don't even know where that signed tape is. It's in this house somewhere.
Why is it not signed on the wall?
It's in a safe spot. I'm just making sure that it's not. It's on my record. No, it's not that.
It's
But I've got
behind you.
vinyl singles and all sorts of shit. I've got quite a bit of stuff.
Would you say the Issues doll? Because my question was going to be, what's the most rogue piece of merch you own that isn't like a standard t-shirt? Would it be that doll that you've got?
I don't know if it's merch, but I've got one of Head's guitar picks that I caught.
Okay. Cool.
That is now. I do know where exactly that is. That is in a drawer. I've got a little special tiny set of drawers with all the guitar picks that I've caught at shows. So like the James Hetfield ones in there, but I've got Monkey and Head's guitar picks that I caught at a London gig. I know it's Sheffield. I caught those. Yeah, it's probably the Korn doll. I think that's about as weird as it gets.
And where does that doll live?
My brother's got that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't got that.
I was gonna say it's not just like sat at the end of your bed, just like looking creepy.
No, that would be weird. Like I say, I'm a grown ass man with a wife and 3 kids. There's no weird merch.
Like I need to sleep with
I'm just
my
looking. There's
doll.
nothing. Yeah, no, the Korn pajamas stay on in the bedroom. No, yeah, a lot of the shit that we had, because we had wall to wall posters. Me and my brother shared a bedroom, and we had wall to wall Korn posters, and it just pretty much got split 50-50 when I moved out. So he has got the Korn doll, unfortunately. It might be the end of his bed. I mean, I can't speak about what another man does in his own bedroom, but
Pride and place.
this is it.
My last question for you, I'm sure you're going to know the answer to this, but do you happen to know where the band name Korn comes from? Do you know its origins? You don't?
No, I heard a story. There's an old story and an old video. There's an old video called "Who Then Now," which is like a making of. I think it's filmed between the making of the first album and the making of the second album. And I'm sure it's Dave Silvera, the old drummer, just says, "Jonathan just came up with it." You're probably going to tell me what it is. I'm probably going to go, oh yeah, actually I'd forgotten, but go on.
It was suggested as a funny throwaway, doesn't mean anything name, spelt the way you would normally spell Korn. And the reason it's got the backwards R in it, this might be right, this might be wrong. I found this on Wikipedia, who knows?
That's definitely going to be right then.
At least like half the band members had previously worked in Toys R Us. So they stole the R from the Toys R Us logo and just threw a K in there instead of a C just to make it weird.
I didn't know that. I did know that Jonathan Davis drew the logo.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's about as fucking iconic as a logo. I think it was on everybody's pencil case. Yeah. It was written on all my rucksacks. But no, I like I said, the story I'd heard was just they just came up with a random word and they just thought their meaning was, well, their rationale that I'd seen was it doesn't matter what the band's called. If the music's cool, it makes the band name. Because Korn's a shit name. Exactly. Korn's like it's up there with Limp Bizkit. It's a rubbish band name. But
they're iconic.
Yeah, you're not embarrassed to say I like Korn.
Yeah, but they're absolutely right. Like if the music is good enough, your band name will become iconic. Yeah. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
No.
God. Anyways, thank you so much for having this chat with me this evening. I hope this has been everything you dreamed it would be.
Yes, thank you for letting me chat shit for 45 minutes about my favorite band.
Thank you for listening to I'm Your Biggest Fan. If you enjoyed what you heard, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, send it to your nan in the post. Every little helps. You can follow us everywhere at biggestfan_pod. Follow me everywhere at Wrathchild_jazz. Noise at Noise UK on everything. Noise Podcast Network at Noise Podcast Network on everything. And Satanic Tico at Satanic Tico and at Pitch Black North. If you have a band member in mind that you think would be perfect for this podcast, perfect for this topic of conversation, or maybe you are the band member and you're the super fan, drop us a comment, drop us an email. All other info can be found below in the description. And thanks again for listening. We'll catch you soon.